few technical difficulties this morning, so please just bear with me while I try and get the camera back where it needs to be. So how are you all today? Drop me a note in the comments. Let me know what the weather's like. Today it is extremely dark, very wet, and kind of looks like it's gonna, well, it looks like it's nighttime. So let me know how you're doing. Apologise for being slightly late this morning. I'm hoping everything's back up and running. It just wouldn't let me go live, and then I've had to remove my camera. So I'm hoping we're all okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay, you can see me okay, and how are you doing today? So Adelina's in. She says, hi Natalie, raining. Yeah, it's just so dark. I've done the school run this morning. I've got wet and soggy. I have to come in, dry off, and no doubt it'll still be raining again when it's time to pick up. Good morning, Lucy. She says, good morning, lovely lady. I've missed you. It feels like it's been so long since I've seen you all. We had a very, very eventful and busy weekend down in Clacton. Just going to move that camera a little bit because I'm going to need to make sure you can see my hands. So yeah, busy event at the warehouse. We were putting all sorts together. I hope I've got enough and some lovely things for you. We've got lots of lovely new products in as well, so I'm excited to be playing with all of those. Yeah, it's just been a very, very busy week, and we're going to have a slight change to schedule this week. So obviously it's Wednesday, not Monday, so I'm with you today. Kitty will be with you on Friday, and she's also going to be with you Monday next week as well. So just to keep you on your toes, we're going to be changing up who's where. So hello to Tina. She says, good morning all. Camille says, good morning, but dull here too. How was your shopping trip? Fun, I bet. We were very good. We just went and we looked and we seen what the options were. So yeah, we've got some new bits. We were collecting some bits that Simon and Kitty had already checked out. And I just stood and looked at all the lovely things. I don't know what use I was really, but yeah, it was good. Hello to Anne, hello to Mina, hello to Judith. She says, good morning, Natalie and everyone. It's dull and wet in West Lothian. Good morning to Dulce. She says, good morning, everyone. Sunny and windy here in East Midlands. Hello to Tutu. Hello to Sheila. Hello to Sharon. Hello to Kim. She says it's very grey and damp in Birmingham. Good morning to Angela, and hello to Treen. So I hope you're all okay. I'm hoping now we can just get started and everything will work okay. So today I'm going to be making with you these little necklaces that I'm wearing. This one's quite long, but you can see it's got a little bow on it with some lovely little tassels. So it's a little bit bow chic instead of bow peep. And we're going to do some little matching stud dangly earrings as well. We've got all sorts in the kit, lots of different colours to choose from. And Simon's even put in a few options if you'd like to change the bow and change up your design a little bit as well. So thank you for that. So good morning to Mary. Hello to Camille. Camille says, I meant the shopping trip with Kitty on Monday. That's what we were talking about. We didn't go looking at clothes or shoes or handbags or anything else. We were just looking at beads. It was a very, very busy morning, but I still managed to get the train back despite cancellations and all the rest of it, but we won't go there. I'm not having the best traveling experiences at the moment, but fingers crossed everything will go smoothly from here. Hello to Elaine. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Great day for beading. It's pouring down. Lucy thinks it's a very cute little set today. Lisa is in, and Sue is saying, oh dear, it's so wet. I'll just have to stay in and bead today. Hi, Carol. She says, hi all too. Yeah, absolutely a day to stay in, stay warm, stay dry. You might not be able to get the heating on, put a blanket on your legs, get some beading done. So these are really, really quick, simple makes, but I think they're really sweet, really cute. And let's get having a little look at what we've got. So I'm going to first of all have a little sip of my coffee and just have a minute while I take you over to the website and show you the absolute beauties. So I've already skipped ahead. I'm already in the video tutorial category. So we're on totallybeads.co.uk /Facebook tutorials. So if you go onto the website, you know how it is. You can click in this part at the top. You can scroll down from categories, or you can go all the way here and you can find everything we make each time we're live in this category. So today is the infinity bow jewellery. Very, very cute looking. So you're getting a choice of 5 different colours. We've got a caramel, a grape, magenta, a red, and we've also got a lovely pink colour. It doesn't say pink, but this one is the pink, and this is the one I'm going to be demoing with for you today. So each of your kit is going to make up 2. So that's 2 necklaces and 2 pairs of earrings, and they are £6.99 each. However, if you think I really love the look of the magenta and I really like the light pink as well, because I'm just obsessed with the colour pink, then you can get 2 kits for £11. So you're going to be able to make up quite a lot. There's also little extra connectors there for you as well. So I'm using these lovely little infinity loops to make that shape of the bow. But if you think, actually, look at that one with the rhinestones on, you might be able to pop that in your basket instead. Now this one here, which is your metal figure of 8 loop, that to me looks a little bit wider. So I'm not sure whether you'd get the 6mm jump ring over the inner part of that. You will be able to do it with a larger jump ring if you've got one to hand. You might not want to use it as a dangling bow. You might just want it as a focal piece in the middle of your chain necklace. That is up to you as well. So you can change about with the designs, but the kits that I've put together for you today, I've got everything in to make this lovely design. So I'm going to go into them and you can have a little look. So this one is the caramel topaz. It's very, very lovely. Wait till you see the diamantes we've got with these as well. Lovely little diamante square beads, which just, I think, make it look so sparkly, really, really special. The earrings, I absolutely love them on the earrings. So in your kit, it's going to make up 2 lots of necklaces and 2 pairs of earrings. You're going to get your lobster clasps, your chain, which is your silver oval, your 6mm jump rings, your eye pins, the infinity loop itself. You're also going to get some ball pins, some silver stud earrings, some glass pearls. So these glass pearls are the caramel topaz. And you're also going to get that diamante square bead. And those beads will match the colour of the pearls as well. So for example, if you've got the light pink, you'll have the light pink diamante square beads in there. So it all ties in together and all looks very, very lovely. All of the findings we've got today will be silver plated. So regardless of what colour you're going to choose in terms of the bead colour and those diamantes, they're all going to be on the silver findings with the silver oval chain and your earring studs. So this is the grape. Very, very pretty. Lovely, lovely colour. I will show you those on the mat as well, or on the bust, so you can see how they look when they hang. So this one is the grape amethyst, and that is £6.99, which makes up 2. We've got the magenta, which is lovely, very vibrant, really, really lovely colour, very bright pink. And we've got these lovely, lovely kind of deep fuchsia coloured diamantes in that kit as well. So that one is your magenta fuchsia. We have the red, which I think is very lovely and very, very festive. So we're talking about now getting prepared for the events that might be coming ahead pretty soon. If you're looking at getting some more kind of festive jewellery in your collection, then I would suggest the red is a good choice for you. Everything you need in the kit, all of the findings, the chain, the loop, the ball pins, the stud earrings, the glass pearls, everything in there, £6.99. And lastly, what I'm going to be demoing with you today is this watermelon rose. So this beautiful light pink colour. The little diamantes are a lighter shade of pink. The glass pearls are, well, they're just lovely. I'm going to show you them on the mat so you can see just what they look like. So all of your things in your kit today is going to make up 2 necklaces, 2 pairs of earrings. They are £6.99 each, or you can get 2 kits, so you'll be able to make up 4 for £11. So that's those for you. Don't forget, if you want to have a little look at the extra infinity rings, you can do that too. They're an absolute bargain, ranging from 50 pence to £1.50. This one's got a lovely kind of hammered metal finish to it. If as well you're thinking, I would like more chain, you're going to have chain in your kits to make up these necklaces. But don't forget, you know, everybody's different. You might want yours to be much, much longer. And then in that case, if you think I really need to get that extra chain, you can always scroll down here and add that. So you're going to get an extra metre of chain for £1.25 if you wish. If you want to get some more of the Diamantes, you can add those into your basket as well. So you can buy all the extra components that you think you might need. But again, you not want it to be as long as the ones that I've made, and you might want to use a little bit less chain. So that is entirely up to you. Let me see what's going on in the comments before we make a start. So Lucy says she's a little bit obsessed with pink, like we didn't already know. She's also kindly shared the link for us. So we got 2 pinks for you to choose from today, Lucy. So we are totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials /infinity bow set. We've got lovely Mina in cloudy Leicester. Hello to Camille. Hello to Jackie. Good morning to Heidi in the wet Cornwall. Lucy says she's going to get the bright pink and the baby pink one. There's a surprise. Absolute bargain. 2 kits for £11 today. Why not? Susan, she says, good morning, Natalie and everyone. Very wet in North Devon today. An ideal day to stay in and bead. And Lucy's loving the little spacer beads. So before I take you down on the mat, I'm going to show you them on the bust. Obviously, I'm wearing it. So again, bear in mind, I have wonky shoulders. But these are what we are making today. They're really, really pretty. Hello, Margaret in the Wirral. So we're creating a little bow with that infinity ring and those little kind of chain tassels, just to make it dangle a little bit and look like little ribbons, I suppose. And those matching earrings as well. Esther says these look amazing. Thank you very much. They are the easiest things to make. So very, very quick make. Again, if you're going to want to be selling your jewellery or making as gifts, then these are perfect. This one is our gorgeous purpley coloured one. Again, it's so dark in here today. It's like it's nighttime. I look like I'm sitting in the dark, don't I? Esther says she's going to get a few of these. I'll show you them down on the mat, and hopefully it's a bit lighter on the mat. So let's go down to the mat. Okay, here we go. Hopefully my camera's okay in position. It's looking a little bit fuzzy to me since coming out and going back in, so please let me know if you can see this okay. So this is your beautiful watermelon rose pink coloured ones. And as I say, look at the little diamantes in there. Come on, let me get some space. They're so pretty. These are your red ones. Look at the sparkle in them. Really, really pretty. I'm going to take the earrings off. It's easier to show you them on the earrings so you can see that sparkle. So this is like a beautiful kind of plum colour. Lucy says she thinks she likes the red too. Look at the twinkle. I just love these flat square diamantes. I think they're really, really gorgeous. Just loving the change in the shape with them as well. So having those lovely round glass beads, and then these as a little focal feature in between. I think they look very elegant together. And this is your brighter fuchsia coloured one. So this is your magenta fuchsia. Looking absolutely lovely. And again, having these little studs are really nice, a little bit different from what we use. You could usually pop them on any earring hook. So if you're a fan of the fish hook earrings or the French hooks, you could pop them on there. But I'm really liking these little studs. So you've got a normal little rounded stud and a little dangle to attach whatever you like on. Really, really lovely. Lucy, Angela says, Lucy, red's just a darker pink. Okay, and I'm wearing the caramel one, so let me take one of the earrings out that I'm wearing. Look at that topazzy caramel. What was it called? What was it, the exact name? Yeah, caramel. So look at those. So as I say, your pearls are going to match those little diamantes in between, but all of your findings are going to be silver, so everything's going to match each other for that little set. So I'm going to put that earring back in because I'll forget, and then I'll just be wandering around with one earring in for the rest of the day. And that's a look, but it's not a look I'm going for. So let's get started on these makes. I'll just move those out the way. So they are really straightforward to do. You can adjust these to the length that you wish by just changing up the length of your chain. So I will put this out the way for now. Let's move that up out of the way. And we can get started. So I'm going to take the chain that is in my kit and I'm going to cut it to about 40 centimeters. I want 20 centimeters on each side. You can make this longer if you want it to sit longer. You can adjust that and make it shorter if you want to as well, up to you. So I'm going to fold my chain in half to find the middle. So you can either measure out two lengths the same. So if you want 20 centimeters on each side, you can just measure that against your ruler, or you can cut the full length that you want, find the middle like I'm doing here. So I'm just laying that out flat. It would be this one in the middle, I think. Yeah. And then I'm just going to open that up. So I've got two lengths the same. So what I'm doing is I'm finding that little opening in the link, and I'm just going to open it up like a jump ring, turning it towards me or away from me, and I'm going to take that middle link off, and now I've got two lengths that are the same. I'm going to start attaching my findings straight away. So I'm going to take a little lobster clasp out, which is going to be in the kit, and I'm going to get two of my 6mm jump rings, and I'm going to open up my jump ring. So again, just taking as much of that surface area between my pliers as I can, turning it towards me or away from me, threading that on. You can thread your lobster clasp on at this point too. But obviously you only need that lobster clasp on one side. And then I'm going to close that up again. So I'm going to hold on to my jump ring, and if I've brought it towards me, I'm just going to move it away from me. I want those little parts to meet really close together so they rub together, and I know that's fully closed. And then again, the same on the other side. Opening up my jump ring, attaching that onto the last chain link. If there's a little gap in it like there is here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to open that up again, give it a little wiggle. There you go, and then that will be perfectly closed. Sue says, hi everyone, I've just ordered mine. I've just had to have them all. Well done, Sue. Just, give in to that temptation. When it comes to beads, there's a lot worse things to be spending your money on. You're going to get some absolute beauties. You're going to get loads out your kit today, and you're going to be able to make these as gifts. They'll sort you out for Christmas, birthdays, or you can just have a selection of them to wear with different tops. They go really well with anything, plain t-shirt, just to kind of spark it up a little bit. Angela Yeah, she's telling Lucy about red being a darker pink. Joanne's here as well. She says, good morning, everyone. Very windy in the Midlands today. Hope you're all doing okay. Lucy's getting the red and the caramel too. She says it's a great price. So all I've done there is just attached it on together. You don't have to. This is the length of chain that I am going to be working from. And now all I'm going to do is start making the little connectors. So I'm going to take in my kit 2 of my little eye pins. So your eye pin's going to be the one with the little loop already on one end. You're going to get the eye pins and you're going to get the ball pins in your kit today. This I'm going to make into a double connector. So I'm going to take one of them and then I'm going to get my gorgeous pearls out. So I'm using today these lovely light pink ones and the beautiful flat Diamantes. So I'm just going to open up my little pack of Diamantes. So you can see, if I place it between my fingers, just how sparkly and pretty that is, and it sparkles all the way around. It's really lovely. Good morning, Patricia. She says, good morning. It is 5:24 a.m. from rainy New York. Oh, she's got bits of a hurricane still, Hurricane Ian. I hope you're okay. Yeah, wet and windy. Please stay safe, Patricia. Thank you for joining me. So I'm just going to add that little glass pearl on to my little eye pin. Then I'm going to add my Diamante. And then I'm going to add another of my glass pearls. So that is going to sit sandwiched in between those 2 pearls. You can turn it, so it's going to add that sparkle as it moves. Now I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to give that little bend just above that little pearl to a 90-degree bend. So I'm going to position my pin, my loop on this side, so it's kind of facing me, and I'm going to bend that. I'm bending that pin away from me. Now I'm going to come in with my cutters and I'm going to trim a little bit of that pin off because I only want about 1 centimetre. I want my loops to be roughly the same size on either way. So if you want to, you can take your round nose pliers and you can pop your round nose pliers into that little loop and see this is where about I'm going to turn on the other side. So I only need a little bit of my pin, so I'm cutting off about couple of millimeters, so I'm leaving 1 centimetre on there, and then I'm going to start to turn that part of my pin into a loop. So I'm popping my nail or my thumb just on top of that bead to keep it sitting down in position. I'm going to start to give it a little flick up, then I'm repositioning my wrist, and then I'm starting to turn. So I said I wanted it around here to match the other side. So I'm just going to give it little gentle turns until that comes all the way. So it's going to be nice and neat and sitting on the top, and that's closed. If I need to straighten them up, I can just pop my pliers on the end and give it a little twist to make sure they're fully the same, as in they're both sitting in the right direction, making sure that pin, that little loop is closed. So that's the first one. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So again, I'm taking 2 of my beautiful pearls, popping them on, adding my Diamante spacer, and then another pearl on the other end of it. Now the reason I'm bending this pin before I start to turn that loop is just to make sure that as I turn it, that loop will then sit nicely and neatly on top of that pin. Margaret says she's ordered the pink set. Thanks, looks gorgeous. I'm glad you like it, Margaret. I know you're going to find them really easy to make. Again, I'm going to trim off my pin. So I'm leaving about 1 centimetre. Didn't cut that properly. There you go. Just holding on to that end as I cut it so it doesn't fire away. I'm then going to pop my round nose pliers onto that pin where I want to turn that loop, making sure there's none of the pin sticking out on the other side, so it's going to be nice and flush. I give it a little turn towards me to make that first part of the curve, and then I reposition my hand. So I'm not putting much pressure on my wrist, I'm not twisting it too much, I'm just going to give little flicks, and that's going to turn that pin in and make sure it's sitting lovely on top. Just give it a little extra turn just to make sure it's fully closed. So now I've got 2 of my little double-ended connectors, and I'm going to get my jump rings again, and I'm going to start adding those onto my chain. So I'm going to open up my jump ring, thread one of the loops onto the jump ring, and then the other end of the chain onto that jump ring too. So that is now going to be part of my focal feature part of my necklace at the front. And the same again, adding onto the last link on the chain on the other side through the little loop that we've just created on our little pearl links, and closing that over. Couldn't be any more straightforward, could it? I'd like to think. Okay. Now I'm going to add my lovely little infinity loop. So if you were to get the rhinestone Diamante one that you can also get off the website, that's going to have little kind of eyelets on the side so that you can connect your jump rings directly onto that, and that will make sure that it's sitting nicely and it's not going to start flipping over and things like that. However, what I find is when you put the jump rings around either side and connect them onto the chain, the weight from the little bow dangles that we're going to create, once it's worn and when it's on you, it's going to sit, gravity is going to make that hang nicely so it won't flip and twist about too much. So again, I'm going to get my jump rings out, open that up. So I'm just threading it through one side of that little infinity loop and then attaching that onto the other link on that pearl connector. And then the same on the other side. So if you want to, you could just have it like this. You don't have to have the chain dangling tassels if you don't want to. But when it's worn, that will position itself like this. Victoria says, wish there was a green and a blue option. I'm so sorry, Victoria. Do you know, have a little look what square rhinestones we've got available, because if there is a blue, I think there is like a peridot coloured one. You could always get yourself some pearls or see what's in your collection at home and just get the little flat diamantes. The reason why I've chosen these colours is because they're matching perfectly. So the red diamantes are matching that shade of red pearl and so on. So have a little look what others we might have available. There may be more options. Okay, now I'm going to start to make the dangly chain. So I'm going to take 2 lengths. I'm going to want one length about 5 centimeters and one length the chain at about 4 centimeters. But again, that is up to you. The only reason I'm cutting them at different lengths, I'm going to be adding different amounts of these pearls on as well. So you can see on one dangle I've got 3 pearls, on the other I've only got the 2, and I like the fact that they're slightly staggered. You don't have to, you can make them exactly the same on both sides if you want. It's just a design choice. It's entirely up to you. You're the creator here, you know what it is that you like. For me, I like them staggered at slightly different lengths. And it's going to give it kind of like a ribbon technique, or a ribbon look rather. So I'm going to cut one to about 5 centimeters and one at 4 centimeters. So I'm just going to lay out a bit of my chain, and I'm going to cut that one there. So again, I'm just going to open it up, find the little connection in that link, and then I'm closing that over. I'm just going to flip it over because I've noticed this end here, there's a tiny little opening, it's not fully closed. And I don't want to be wasting my chain, so I'm going to keep as many of these links as I can. So that one's at about 4 centimeters. Let's see how long this one is. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's 5 centimeters. So 1 of 4, 1 of 5. You can adjust that length to how you want it. Now I'm going to make the little connectors that go on the end, but I don't want them to be double connectors like these ones. So I'm going to use my lovely little ball pins. This is going to be what we're using for the earrings as well. Patricia says a really nice project in the pink. Oh, see, she says very symbolistic. That's not a word. Symbolic. That's the word I'm looking for. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yes. They are quite, yeah, because pink ribbons tend to be breast cancer awareness, don't they? Okay, so we've got the little ball pin. So I'm not going to need a connector on that side, just one on here. So again, I'm going to take my lovely pearls. I'm going to need 3 for one of them and just 2 for the other if I'm going to do this design. So I'm going to pop my pearl on. It's going to fit lovely next to that little ball on the end of my pin. I'm also going to get another one of my connectors, or my little diamantes rather, and then adding on that extra little pearl as well. So for one I've got 2. Let me get my other one out. So I'm going to need another one of these diamantes. I'm going to pop my pearl on, then the diamante, then another pearl, then the square diamante, and another pearl. So I'm having 3 pearls on one, just 2 on the other. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with this. So I'm going to give it a little bend neatly at the top of that pearl. So you can see as I bent it, there's not much room. It's going to sit nicely at the top. I'm going to take my cutters. Again, I only need about 1 centimetre of this pin. So I'm going to cut round about here. You could do wrap loops with these as well if you wish. I'm going to position where I want it on my round nose pliers. I only want a fairly small loop, so I'm going to go towards the end of my pliers where they're tapered downwards. If I want that loop to be bigger, I'll be moving up towards the handles, but I think round about here is perfect. Making sure there's nothing sticking out that end of it. Give it a little tuck towards me, reposition my wrist, and with little gentle movements, I'm turning that in so the pin is nicely shaped. It's an I shape, not a P shape. That loop is sitting nicely on top. And then again on the other with the 3 pearls, giving it little bend. Doesn't have to be fully 90 degree, but you want it at that angle just so you can turn that loop on top. Going to cut off, leaving about 1 centimetre. Just keep hold of the end of the pin between your fingers as you cut so it doesn't fire off. And then I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to position that pin between my round nose pliers, give it a little flick towards me, I reposition my hand, and then little gentle movements to get that on the top. If it's not quite perfect, pop your round nose pliers in, give it a little bend, and then back in again just to close it up. So that loop will be sitting on top. Margaret says very simple but elegant. They are very easy to do. Now I would like my pin with the 3 pearls on to be on the longer length of chain. So I'm going to put this on the 5 centimetre one, and then the one with the 2 pearls I'm going to put on the shorter. And I'm not going to attach that onto a jump ring. I'm just going to put that directly onto the chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up that little loop that we've just made by giving it a little tiny flick, only opening it up a little bit, that's going to be able to thread my chain just onto there. It's just turning a little bit, so let me get hold of it. So just that last link is going to go through the loop we've just made, and then I'm just going to close it down again to make sure it's fully closed. So I'm not using a jump ring to attach on these bits. That little loop will suffice. So little flick up, just to open it a tiny bit, adding on to the last link on my chain and closing it back up like this. And now I'm going to attach these little lengths to the center of that loop, that infinity loop. So I'm going to take my jump ring and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to open the jump ring up quite wide this time. I'm going to thread on the chain that we've just made for the little dangles. And now I'm going to pop this over the center of the bow. Now I don't want it to sit either side in the two holes. I want it to sit over the top of the middle. So let's see how easy this is when I'm holding it flat. I'm just going to position it over where that bow kind of, or that infinity loop meets itself and crosses over. So let me just position it so you can see. If I hold it up to the camera, it's going to move. So hopefully you can see it's just going over those two bits there. And I'm going to come in with my pliers. So I've opened it up quite wide. Just give it a little turn. I'm going to take the ends of that jump ring with my pliers and I'm going to close it over. So you're going to need to make sure that that jump ring is fully closed. So you might need to give it a little wiggle. Just reposition those chain lengths. That link is just sitting to the side instead of downwards. So just, I see. What I've done there somehow is I've not attached it to the last jump link on the jump ring. Excuse me. I've attached it to the one just above. I don't know how I managed to do that. So I can either take it off, or I'm just going to get rid of that link because I think that's going to be a good length anyway. There you go. So if you can see with the bow that I've created, I've put this jump ring over rather than across. And that means that my little chain parts are going to dangle down the bottom. And that is my necklace done. All I've got to do now is make my little earrings. They are that straightforward and that simple to make. So he says, good morning, Natalie and all my beading family. Oopsie, I'm a lot late today. Quite windy and cloudy here in Staines today, but I can see a patch of blue sky out of the window. Hoping it stays dry as I've got my next injection this afternoon and don't really want to get soaked cycling there. Oh, aren't you good, Sue, going on the bike? Well done. Lucy has shared the link again for you. So today is the totallybeads.co.uk tutorial. So Facebook tutorials, infinity bow set. That's how easy they're done. If you wanted to make it shorter, I mean, you can change the length of these as well if you want to. You can make them the same length, you can make them smaller, longer. If you want to make it sit differently around your neck, these I think hang quite low. I think they'd be nice to sit higher up. You just need to adjust this chain length. And obviously now you've got your beautiful little earring studs. Let's move this out the way for now. So all we need to do now is just make those little connectors to hang on there. Love your little wiggle. Don't even know I'm doing it. Sheila says, a beautiful quick make, Natalie. They're really lovely, aren't they? So to make the earrings, I'm going to take 2 of my gorgeous pearls, pretty in pink. And I'm going to need 2 more of my lovely little Diamantes. They're going to sit just in the middle. And I'm going to use the ball pins again. If you wanted to, you could do a double connector and just keep hanging more stuff off them if you'd like a much longer dangly. But I think they just look really sweet at this size because they're dangly, but they're petite at the same time. So pearl, diamante, and a pearl. The next one's going to have the same pearl, little flat square diamante, and another gorgeous glass pearl. The sheen on these pearls are just stunning. Love them. Okay, again, going to give it a little bend just above the top of that pearl. So I'm pushing them down, making sure that it's sitting nice against that little ball on the end of my pin. Give it a little bend. I'm going to cut off. So I'm leaving, you've got lovely long pins in the ball pins. You don't need that much at all. So I'm just going to cut off, leaving about 1 centimetre, so about there. What I am going to show you as well, if you want to make them exactly the same, which I'm sure you'll be able to do by eye, but if you want to be very particular about it, when you come to do your next one, measure that length of pin that you've just cut off against each other, and then you're going to know I'm going to need to cut. So just put them flush against each other. You're going to need to cut there. So your pin ends are going to be exactly the same length. Victoria, that's a good fact. Did I know that the infinity symbol came into being by John Wallace in 1655? No, I didn't, but for some reason I would have anticipated it's much older than that. I don't know, but that's a very interesting fact, Victoria. Thank you very much. Maybe if you've got a question, we always say pop a Q in the comments. If you've got a tip, pop a T in the comments. Maybe if you've got a fact, you should start putting an F in the comments as well, and then I can identify your fact. So I'm going to start turning my loops on these. Same again on the other side. Position it where I want it to be. Make sure nothing's sticking out the end of the other side of my round nose pliers. I give it a little flick. Now everybody's got their own way of turning a loop. This is just my way. So I'd start it off, flick it up a little bit, so I've created that little point on it. Then I turn my hand so my knuckles are now away from me. Put it back in, and then start giving little rotations, little flicks of my wrist until that loop comes fully round and sits on the top. Okay, now all I need to do is attach them onto these gorgeous little studs. So again, I'm not going to add a jump ring to these. You can do if you want to, but it's not really necessary. I'm just going to flick up the little part of the pin that we've just turned. I'm going to thread that on to the little connection at the bottom of the stud. Just push that back on a little bit. So I'm just popping it on there and then closing it back down with my pliers, making sure that that loop fully closes. And the same with the other one. Give it a little turn up, very, very small turn, not opening it wide, don't need to. Threading on the little part of my earring stud, keeping the earring stud inside the loop so it doesn't fall down that pin. It's just going to go in the little loop that we've made here. And then with my pliers, I'm just closing that over again. And then I have my lovely, sweet little stud earrings. That must take me about, I don't know, 20 minutes, if that, to have that lovely set. So my gorgeous little earrings. and my beautiful necklace too. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, short but sweet, very sweet. So these are the necklaces and the earrings that I've made today. They are the infinity bow set. Each of your sets, you're going to make 2 pairs of earrings and 2 necklaces in each kit, and they are £6.99 per kit. If you want 2 kits, you might want 2 colours, then it's 2 for just £11 today. So thank you so much for joining me, finishing a little bit earlier. And you know, maybe I'm just going to go and finish my coffee. I've got lots of things I need to be making for you. I'm going to try and do some lovely little kind of Halloween, autumnal, seasonal stuff, and we're going to try and get these in as quick as we can because we're in October now already. Joanne says very sweet little set, very lovely. Camille says lovely, simple and elegant. Thank you, Natalie. Stay safe and warm, everyone. Esther says fabulous. Thank you, clever lady. Judith says it's very pretty, and Tutu says good night, everybody. So I hope you've enjoyed it today. You can adjust these lengths to whatever you like. All you need to do is just make that chain a little bit shorter or a little bit longer. Get loads in your kits today. I think lots of lovely colours. I will check if we've got any more of these square Diamantes for you. Can't remember who was asking, but someone wanted a blue or a green. So I'll have a little look if they're available on the website for you too. I will be back with you. What day are we on? Wednesday. So I won't be with you Friday and I won't be with you Monday, but I'll be with you the Wednesday after that. You think? I don't know where the days are going. I hope you all have a very lovely evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever it is where you are, and I will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.